Hi everybody, today at our Friday night dessert class we made raspberry bliss balls, raspberry coconut bliss balls and lemon cheesecake bliss balls. So delicious. Now that's our Friday night class. On Saturday, Nellie had a runaway. On Saturday in our rookie class we've got healthy chicken nuggets and a dipping sauce. And then for the challenger class at 4:30, which we run every Saturday afternoon, we've got chicken pho or vegetarian pho, depending on what you're wanting to go with. So click the link in the bio for the details and let's get cooking.
So, all right. So you're going to need some desiccated coconut. You'll need some cream cheese, beautiful. You'll need the juice of 1 lemon and the zest. And you'll need some honey. If you don't like honey, the other option that you can use for sweetness is rice malt syrup. Brilliant. Okay, that's easy. That's it. And then raspberry bliss balls, you'll need a cup of oats. You'll need some more coconut. You'll need a little bit of vanilla. You'll need some salt, some rice malt syrup or some honey, some more lemon rind, and some frozen strawberries. Fantastic. All right. In terms of equipment, you'll need some measuring cups and measuring spoons. You'll need a food processor. I've got my food processor here. But to be honest with you, we've made these thousands and thousands of times just using a Ziploc bag. So when we go out into schools and into events, we just use a Ziploc bag. So you don't need anything fancy, but so if you haven't got a food processor, just use your Ziploc bag. Great. You'll need somewhere to put your finished products. So you can just use a dinner plate or you can use a baking tray with some baking paper on it. Fantastic. You'll need a spatula. Yep, my spatula is there. A little bowl for your coconut. And you'll need a plate or a plastic container. All right then, great. So the first thing we're going to do is make our lemon bliss balls. So if you're using a food processor, get the bowl of your food processor ready. If you're using a Ziploc bag, have that ready. Beautiful. And you're going to put 2 cups, 2 cups of coconut, 1 cup of coconut. Well, that's a bit strange, isn't it? All right, we're going to do, let's start with 1 cup of coconut. 1 cup of coconut, we're going to put it straight into our bowl. So make sure that you measure right up to the top of your cup, that you've got an accurate measure. And then I'm giving my measuring cup just a little tap, just so that I've got a nice flat measure, and pop that straight into your bowl. Beautiful. And then straight away, just pop your cream cheese. So I'm just going to open my cream cheese packet. I'm going to use my scissors. And you can chop it up. I'm just going to add it straight to the bowl. Is that? Beautiful. So you want 250 grams of your cream cheese. And the next thing that we're going to do once you've added your cream cheese is you're going to zest your lemon. So depending on what kind of grater you've got, so if you've got a box grater, you want to do it on the smallest side. So sometimes they've got a big side, which is like good for hard cheese like Parmesan, but the little one here is perfect for zest. Make sure that you wash your lemon first, and then we're going to just zest it. Now, we don't want to go too far into the lemon because on the outside of the lemon is the beautiful zest, but then right underneath that, the white part is called the pith, and that's a little bit bitter. So we don't want the bitter bit, we just want that beautiful rind or the zest. So I'm kind of doing a couple of rubs and then I'm turning it. Just keep checking your lemon to make sure that you're moving it around enough. We do the zest first because it's much easier to zest a whole lemon than it is to try to cut it up into pieces and then, because I've actually got some lemon cut up, but it's too tricky, too tricky. Right. And I'm going to chop my lemon in half. Now, don't let me rush you. Do it at your pace. But I'm just, because I can't see everyone, I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving you hanging there just bored. So we're going to juice our lemon once you've got all this beautiful rind or zest off it. Make sure that you don't have any pips in there. Picking my pips out. Beautiful. So we've got what we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of honey. 2 tablespoons of honey. Now, depending on your, what am I going to say? Depending on your tablespoon. So I've got one that is a really good spoon, like it's round. So it gives a very accurate measure. So I'm getting all of my honey off my spoon. It's always tricky. Two rounded tablespoons. Now, in a minute, we will test the flavour and the texture. But we'll just add it first. You can always add more. Beautiful. What we're going to do is start very slowly mixing using your food processor, if you're using the food processor. All right, that didn't take long. Oh. Now, Ida and Lauren, what I want you to do now is you can see that I'll just pick up my mixture so you can see. Now it's come together in a beautiful lump. Perfect. Grab yourself a teaspoon and I want you to taste. I want you to taste your mixture. Oh, yum. Yum. So when you taste your mixture, You're looking for if you think that it's lemony enough or sweet enough. So mine's ideal, but this is the point where you could add a little bit more honey or a little bit more. If you've got another lemon and you want to add a little bit more lemon juice, you can add some more lemon juice. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is give that spoon a wash. I'm pulling the attachment out on my food processor. And I'm going to fill up about half a cup of desiccated coconut. Beautiful. And now it's just literally ball rolling time. Now you'll find that the desiccated coconut will absorb more of the liquid of the cream cheese, and you've got lemon juice, you've got cream cheese. So you'll find that they're quite soft now, but when you put them in the fridge and let them sort of set, that they'll absorb, the coconut will absorb the moisture and they'll become a little bit more firm the longer that we leave them. So I'm just giving them a roll, and then I'm going to roll them in my coconut. That one looks a bit dodgy. Hang on, get him a bit rounder. Beautiful. And now we're just going to roll and then dip them into your coconut. Now, some people love making all of their Bliss balls exactly the same size. So if you're the kind of person that likes to do that, the best way is to get a set of scales, the little digital scales, and measure the first one. So if it weighs, say, 45 grams, then you want to be able to measure all of your balls and for them all to be 45 grams. So I know that there are some people that we've taught this class to and they just love everything to be exactly the same. I think that after a while, you're able to judge pretty much the size and make them quite similar. Beautiful. All right, that's me done. So what I'm going to do is wash my food processor and the spoon and my hands, of course, so that when you guys are ready, we'll start the next recipe. So I'll just wash.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Great, fantastic. All right, brilliant. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of oats into our bowl, 1 cup of oats. And you can use any kind of oats. So you can use quick mix oats as well as your regular oats. So we want 1 cup of oats and then a tablespoon of coconut, a tablespoon of coconut.
Beth, can you use almond meal instead of the oats if you've got that?
Ooh. Why don't you play around with it?
Okay.
It's just, oh goodness, it's just not as absorbent. But if you haven't got oats, probably need to try, have you got banana?
Yeah, yep.
Got a banana. All right, let's add the oats. say all sorts of things. Let's change the consistency of your recipe.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
No problem at all. No. I love to eat. And are you nut intolerant?
No.
Okay.
Just gluten with the oats.
Yeah, sure. I'm the same actually. So rightio. So in that case, let's try the almond. So let's do a 1 cup of almond.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll just play around with this. So for everyone, we've got 1 cup of oats, we've got 1 tablespoon of coconut, and then half a teaspoon, let's do a whole teaspoon of vanilla, or a whole lid of vanilla. Zainab. All right, so a teaspoon of vanilla, and then 2 tablespoons of either rice malt syrup or honey. 2 tablespoons of rice malt syrup or honey. Now, Lauren, I suggest that you've got a cup of almond flour. I think you'll need at least half a cup of desiccated coconut. So that's just for Lauren.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, I only did 1. Gosh. 2 tablespoons of rice malt syrup, yeah. I'm thinking about ingredients. Forgot to put the right ones in. Then you're going to grab your salt and put half a teaspoon of salt in. Half a teaspoon of salt. And that's going to bring out the flavour of the raspberries. Half a teaspoon of salt. Yep, beautiful. Sprinkle it around. Excellent. And then we're going to do grated lemon rind. Grated lemon rind. Now, Lauren, I would leave the lemon out of yours.
Okay, no worries.
Yep. I'm going to add something to make it sticky. So, yeah, you don't add lemon because that might add a little bit of a weird flavour to it.
Okay.
Lemon is going to balance out the raspberry. So not putting juice in it, just the rind. And then we're going to add half a cup of frozen raspberries. So we're going to start processing our mixture, and you could see from the last time that it doesn't really need a long time, but we're wanting to get our mixture to the point where it clumps together. So depending on how mushy your raspberries are and how much juice is added, and the type of oats that we use, we might have to sort of add some more coconut as we go along, or in your case, Zainab, some more oats. So I'm just going to start by turning my machine on. Add another cup of oats. Much better. Mine's not sticking together tonight. Why is that so? All right. So I've added 1 more cup of oats and 1 more cup of coconut to get it to the right consistency. 1 more cup of oats and 1 more cup of coconut. And then it's a perfect consistency. And you'll find that, actually, I'm really happy with my consistency, but they will definitely get firmer when they go in, when you leave them for an hour. Jake, how are you going? So these will have a little bit of a they're a little bit more tender, but they'll actually firm up much more strong. They'll firm up when you leave them sitting. As I suggested before, you can leave it out. You can definitely leave your raspberry ones out on the bench for a little while, but when you put them in the fridge, either pop them into a container with a lid or cover them with some cling wrap. That way, they won't take on the flavour of the fridge. Because sometimes our fridges smell of random things. Yours might not, but mine, sometimes I open the fridge and I think, what has gone off? Or what someone's put in there and not shut something, or someone hasn't put the cheese properly, closed the cheese properly, and Parmesan cheese smells through the whole house, through the whole fridge. That happened the other day, obviously. And everyone's saying, oh, the fridge smells. I said, the fridge doesn't smell, it's just someone hasn't wrapped the cheese up properly. And I'm sure that doesn't happen in anyone else's house, just mine.